name's Lucille Wolfe, and I'm from the Birdtown community. I'm involved with the Qualla Boundary Historical Society. This is our Fun at the Fair series. First of all, I'd like to say that my mom told me before she passed, when they celebrated the 100th year fair, that it was held where Cablevision is. And she said that as far as you could see, there would be wagons instead of vehicles coming to the fair. And the people would come that way, and they would bring a sandwich with them for their lunch. But as growing up as a young child, we always looked forward to the fair. That was our fun thing to do. We didn't have much money, but I guess we had a little bit that would. I remember picking up those ducks and eating cotton candy. We just thought that was something. And riding the rides. And then as I got a little bit older, I went there to meet my friends, and we thought it was something, especially if a boy asked us to ride a ride with him as a young teenager. And I look forward to the square dancing. I thought that was really something, and I think that was one big event that they had there that I enjoyed. And I think my daughter, we had a little dance team in Wolftown, and when I forget how old she was, and we had a square dance team. We made their outfits, and they danced at the fair. You've heard of Kool-Aid Queen? I don't know what his real name was. I think he was her dance partner, and maybe his younger brother might have danced too. I can't remember who some of those were or how old they were, but yeah, we made their outfits for them, and they danced at the fair. I don't know how they had. I think Birdie and Candler Ray Cooper seems like they danced. Some of those Coopers, and then at one time they had a square dancing team from. I don't know what they danced at the fair or not, because I don't think they had square dancing then. But Carmelita Monteith and Harry Cooper. I think Jerry Wolf was in it at one time. Geraldine Thompson, and they danced at one of our either strawberry festival. I think one year over at the fairgrounds, and but that was from the Solly Manor. They had uh, their red outfits, and then I think they had later on had a blue one or something. But yeah, but I'd like to see them bring that back to the fair, the square dancing. I always enjoyed trying to square dance. I remember when I was a young girl, we could go. They had a like an auditorium up there at the high school up by Cablevision, and we could go to square dance on Saturday nights, I think, and dance, and that was a fun thing to do, you know. And but I enjoyed the rides and the food, and they built their own little shanties or whatever you call it for to serve food out of. They would just put up the day before, I think, and people. And I remember Mary Lou and Wayne Hornbuckle was one that had a hamburger stand there. I think uh, her mom and dad had had one before them, uh, Enoch and Ollie Al, and but the food was good. And then as I got older, a lot of people would go to because it was like a homecoming. People would come from out of town. You got to see friends and relatives that you hadn't seen in a long time, and so that was fun. And but mostly just riding the rides, and we thought that was exciting, especially those that's scary, like that one that was called the Lupo plane. It was really scary, and and then later on I became an Iowa member, and uh, in my later years, and I still am, but we used to have a booth there, and it was fun. It was hard work, but it was fun too. Because sometimes we didn't get out there till midnight. People, we served hamburgers and hot dogs and strawberry shortcake, and we always had a line, and we had chili, and especially if it's cold. And the stickball games too. I always look forward to watching those. Um, I thought that was exciting. I had a nephew that played, and he had short legs, but boy, he could run, and I always enjoyed watching him play. And later on, he got hurt in a car wreck, I think, and he's not able to play anymore. I think he's maybe in his 30s or early 40s or something now, but he's not able to play anymore. But he was a good stickball player. He played on the Wolftown team with Bill Reed. I like to cook, and I put some baked goods in there. I was staying with my mom one year, and I can't remember what I put in there. I know I do banana bread and zucchini bread and stuff like that, and I said, "Ooh, Mom, I won first place." And she said, "Well, you must have been the only one that entered." And I was like, "Well, thanks a lot." But then before I put stuff in there, and I can't remember. I know I used to like to weave. Back when we were in school, we had a weaving class. Miss Cornett was our teacher, and I loved that class. And I've made several things, and I think I put some of those in there and won ribbons for them. And I still have the Afghan that I made my mom for her birthday, and I put it up in a plastic bag because I didn't want it. It's kind of wool, and I didn't. I wanted to keep it, and I'll leave it to my daughter. And now I enjoy going to Elders Day. That's a lot of fun, seeing people you haven't seen in a long time. I think it's just like I said, a good place to go and meet those relatives and friends that live out of town that you haven't seen in a long time. And one thing too that they changed, and I remember going to I think it was if you went to the Cherokee school, they had like a reunion at Solly Manor, and they would have food. And I remember going there a couple of years, and anyone that went to Cherokee school could go that. They called it a reunion, and any relatives from out of town, or you know people that didn't live here, they would always show up there. So that they don't have that anymore. I just think it's just something we always look forward to every year, and a fun thing, and people seem to all get along and enjoy seeing each other again.